for Movie Assault here, and it's time once again for my month's end movie haul, this time out for July 2022. And this time out, I've got stuff from Amazon, eBay, Big Lots, Buy Sell Trade, Dollar Tree, and I think that's it. If I run across something else, I'll let you know. But I'll start off with Amazon, and first up, picked this up. This just came out in July on Blu-ray. This is The Frisco Kid with Gene Wilder and Harrison Ford. And there is the front. And here is the back. And this is from 1979. I watched this for the first time on HBO when I was a little kid, and I really enjoyed it. Watching it again for the first time since then, I enjoyed it a little less, but I still thought it was a very good movie. Like I said in an earlier video, I'm kind of going through a Western phase lately, watching some Westerns, some new ones and old ones, some that I've never seen before, and some that I watched a long time ago. And this is one of those ones that I watched a long time ago. It's very funny, but it's in a kind of a low-key kind of way. If you're expecting like Blazing Saddles 2 because Gene Wilder's in it and it's a Western, it's really not. It's much more subtle and heartfelt than Blazing Saddles, but it's still a really good movie. Just don't expect to be, laughing in like your side-splitting humor. It's more subtle than that. But Harrison Ford is really good in this, and so is Gene Wilder. I think Gene Wilder's performance in this is one of his best, if not his best. As a pure acting performance. So yeah, Frisco Kid, check this out. It's Warner Archive from 1979. Also picked this one up. I have not watched this one yet. This is Old Henry, and this is from 2021. This has Tim Blake Nelson, Scott Hayes, Gavin Lewis, Trace Atkins, and Stephen Dorff. This was actually from Prime Day, and I think I picked this up for $8. I think, don't quote me on that, but there is the front, and there is the back, and this is from Shout Studios, so from Shout Factory. So if you've seen this one, let me know what you thought. And also from Amazon, pick this up. This is Everything Everywhere All at Once. Watch this. This is fantastic. One of my favorite movies, if not my favorite movie of the year so far. This is the front of the slipcover, and this is the back. And I believe it's the same on the back and front underneath. But this is just an outstanding, stellar movie. The less you know about going in, the better. But it's just a crazy, crazy, but very heartfelt movie, starring Michelle Yeoh and I'm going to mess this up, Ke Huy Quan, Jenny Slate, Harry Shum Jr., James Hong, and Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie Lee Curtis is outstanding in this. But the guy that played Short Round in Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, he plays the male lead in this, and he's actually really good. This is written and directed by Daniel Kwan and Daniel Scheinert, and they call themselves Daniels. It's a film from Daniels. The less you know about this, the better. It's an A24 movie. Just go into it expecting to be blown away, and you will. That's all I really will say about this. I really, really enjoyed this. Just very surprising in the way that it just sort of breaks all the rules of filmmaking and conventional film construction. It's about the multiverse and how things in one universe can affect things in another universe. Michelle Yeoh is fantastic in this. When it boils down to it, though, it's really a story about family and the little things that should be important to you. I don't know really what else to say about this other than just see it if you haven't already. And this is a double feature. I watched both of these. This is The Creep Behind the Camera and The Creeping Terror. It's a double feature because The Creep Behind the Camera is sort of a docudrama about a guy named Vic Savage, also known as A.J. Nelson. and he directed The Creeping Terror. It wasn't his only film that he worked on, but it was the one he's mainly known for, and it's basically thought of one of the worst movies ever made, right up there with Plan 9 from Outer Space. But he himself, as a person, was just a complete sleazeball, and The Creep Behind the Camera really spells that out in just a measure of different ways. It says here he was a con artist, a psychopath, and monster movie director. He was also an abusive husband, an adulterer, child pornographer, just a really nice guy. But I didn't know anything about that. I'd seen The Creeping Terror on TV once late night in the 80s, and I remember reading about it in the Golden Turkey Awards that the Medved brothers had written. But yeah, as a double feature, and that's how I watched this. I watched The Creep Behind the Camera first, and then The Creeping Terror. It was kind of an interesting way to watch The Creeping Terror, revisit it, and kind of see the scenes that were reenacted in The Creep Behind the Camera. I actually learned about this from Piper Dork, who isn't very active, if at all, on YouTube anymore. But she used to be here on YouTube, and she used to do a lot of bad movie reviews. And she recommended this one. That video, she's taken it down for some reason. Even though her channel's still up, that video is gone. Yeah. So thanks, Piper Dork, if you're watching this. I finally got around to watching this and actually getting this. Two more from Amazon. Next up, another Prime Day purchase. I have not watched this one yet. This is Midsummer. And that's the front. That's the back. It was on sale for $5. I know a lot of people have seen this and recommended it. And you probably know more about it than I do. I just bought it because I've heard so many people recommend it. So I really don't know what I'm getting myself into with this one. So don't spoil it for me, please. And this one I have not watched on 4K or Blu-ray yet, but I did see it in the theater. This is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. And of course, it's an MCU movie, so I had to pick it up to keep my collection current. There's the back. But this was all right. It was kind of a Sam Raimi film, directed with his hands tied behind his back, I think. Sam Raimi light, but there's definitely his touches in it. But it's like they wouldn't let him go full Sam Raimi in it, so it was a little frustrating. But I really enjoy Sam Raimi's movies, so just seeing what he could do when teamed up with the MCU was entertaining, but it was kind of frustrating knowing what he can do, if that makes any sense. All right, the next couple here I've got are from Dollar Tree, and I did not mention these in my July 2022 Dollar Tree pickups video. Those, if you want to see those, I'm not including those in this video, so I'll put a link right up there to that video. You can see those. But I did pick this one up. This is a Roger Corman drive-in collection, and it features Beast from Haunted Cave, The Wild Ride, The Fast and the Furious, not that one, T-Bird Gang, and High School Big Shot. And so far I've just watched The Beast from Haunted Cave, and here's the back, which shows the different poster art for each of the 5 movies that's included. I have to say I was not expecting too much from the quality on these, because this is... it's 5 movies spread across 2 discs. But I did watch The Beast from Haunted Cave, and I have to say, first of all, the menu on this is really fun. It's like you're going to the drive-in. There's a billboard with the name of the movies on it, and then in the corner it's sort of showing an introductory reel, like, check out our concession stand, and, no driving over 10 miles an hour at the drive-in and that kind of stuff. I thought that was pretty entertaining. The movie itself, The Beast from Haunted Cave, the quality, it was stretched. The aspect ratio wasn't correct. It looks like it was a 4:3 aspect ratio, but it was stretched to 16:9, and I couldn't seem to fix it with the remote on my TV or my Blu-ray player for some reason, so I ended up watching it that way. But the movie itself, I mean, the print quality was okay, it was passable, but the movie itself was pretty good. I actually enjoyed it. So for $1.25, I've already this has already earned its keep. So really enjoyed Beast from Haunted Cave. Also picked this one up. I started watching this, but I stopped it because I figured this is one that my wife would want to watch. This is Crazy Rich Asians, which I have not seen all the way through yet. I only ended up watching probably like the first 15 minutes of it. It's a romantic comedy, which, isn't really my thing, but I will watch these with my wife. So I figured I would just wait and watch this with my wife. But this did come with a digital code, a DVD, and a Blu-ray, and the digital code worked, which was pretty impressive for Dollar Tree. Then I picked this one up. I've seen this around on people's videos, but I've never seen it in a Dollar Tree, and finally I found it. It is Trench 11. I've heard good things about this one. If you've seen it, let me know what you thought of it. But I was actually looking for this one in stores for quite a while and finally came across it. This is a horror movie. A highly contagious biological weapon created by German forces in World War I is discovered by Allied troops as they explore an abandoned underground bunker. Realizing that they need to contain and destroy the threat, their mission becomes a fight for survival when one of their own is infected by the deadly parasite and begins to violently attack them. The soldiers now need to not only save themselves, but must stop the outbreak before it spreads to the rest of the world. So I thought this seemed really interesting, especially for $1.25. And then last, for the Dollar Tree stuff, I picked up SWAT. This is a Spanish packaging because the disc, I opened it up to take a look, and it's literally just the English, the United States version of the disc. No DVD, but it's available in English. So for $1.25, I'll check this out. This has Samuel L. Jackson, Colin Farrell, Michelle Rodriguez, and LL Cool J. And there's the back. So that's a blind buy. Here is my eBay pick. I got this from eBay. Took a gamble on this. I've been wanting to see this movie just because I've heard quite a bit about it. And the chance I took is that is hard to get in a region A version. So I bought this off of eBay. And this says on the back that it is region B. Well, it works just fine. This is Possession, and this was directed by, and you're probably going to kill me because everybody should know this, but it is by, I'm going to massacre this guy's name, Andrzej Zulawski. If you know how to pronounce that, let me know. I'm sure I should because I know he is highly regarded. I believe he is a Polish filmmaker. Again, if that is not correct, please let me know. But I actually got this because it has Sam Neill in it, and the story actually seemed to be pretty cool. I probably shouldn't be showing this cover, so I may have to blur it out. Let me see what the other cover looks like. Yeah, it's the same. So I may have to blur that out. So yeah, this is Possession. And if you've seen it, let me know. Then from Buy Sell Trade, I picked this one up. Again, another Western. It is Once Upon a Time in the West. And this stars Claudia Cardinale, Henry Fonda, Jason Robards, and Charles Bronson. It was directed by Sergio Leone. And from 1969, this includes the restored director's cut and the theatrical cut. And I picked this up for $8. And I've heard nothing but good things about this, and this actually includes a commentary from directors John Carpenter, John Milius, and Alex Cox, and film historians Sir Christopher Frayling and Dr. Sheldon Hall, plus the cast and the crew. So I know this is a very highly regarded film. I just wanted to add it to my collection. I have not yet seen it. There is the back. So if you've seen Once Upon a Time in the West, let me know. And then from Big Lots, picked up a couple of $5 movies and one $3 movie. This is Secondhand Lions with Robert Duvall and Michael Caine. And, what's his name? Haley Joel Osment. I've heard good things about this. This is from 2003. But for $3, I figured I'd take a chance on it. And then this one I'd never heard of before. This appears to be a Canadian release, but it is called Kidnapping Mr. Heineken, starring Anthony Hopkins, Jim Sturgis, Sam Worthington, and Ryan Quanten? I don't know, but anyway, that is the front. This is based on a true story. And I like the tagline. It said that it was the perfect crime until they got away with it, which kind of intrigued me. And this is based on a book called The Kidnapping of Alfred Heineken. And yes, that is the Heineken beer empire guy. That's what this is about. He was kidnapped, apparently. So I thought this looked good. It takes place in 1983. Here's the back. And then last but not least, I added this one to my collection. I've seen this one. This is The Happy Time Murders. It is not one of the greatest films ever, but it's mildly funny. It's pretty disgusting, and if you've got a gross out sense of humor, it's pretty awesome. And it was directed by Brian Henson, who is the son of Jim Henson, and it says No Sesame, All Street. So he's definitely playing on his connections to Sesame Street. There's the back. But it's basically, he takes place in a world where puppets and humans sort of live together, but puppets are sort of regarded, there's sort of racism against puppets, so they're sort of segregated into their own culture, and that theme runs through the whole movie. It's probably a little, even though it's only an hour and 32 minutes long, the gag kind of runs out. But I figured I'd add it to my collection just because it's an interesting and sometimes funny movie, but I wouldn't pay more than $5 for it. But definitely check it out. So there you go. That is what I picked up in July of 2022, minus the Dollar Tree stuff, which again is in that video right there. As always, feel free to let me know what you think of what I picked up. Have you seen any of these? Or is there anything that you saw or picked up in July 22 that you would recommend that I pick up? So there you go. Thanks again for watching. If you've made it this far, as always, thank you very much. Feel free to comment below and definitely subscribe if you haven't done so already. And please hit that thumbs up button. That helps the channel out. Thank you. Take it easy.